Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you feel something as real in your imagination, you plant the seed. Trusting divine timing begins with creating internally and letting go of how and when it appears externally. Imagination is the beginning of manifestation. This powerful truth lies at the heart of understanding how reality is shaped, both internally and externally. Neville Goddard, a great teacher of metaphysics, emphasized that everything we experience in the world is first conceived in our imagination. Imagination is not merely a fleeting fantasy, it is the seed of all creation. The mind is not a passive observer, but an active creator, and the images and ideas we nurture within ourselves determine the reality we ultimately experience. When we begin to understand the potency of imagination, we realize that everything in our world, both the seemingly ordinary and the extraordinary, has its origins within the human mind. But what exactly does this mean for you in terms of trusting divine timing? It means that your first step in experiencing what you desire is to create it internally. The desires you carry are not random. They are born from the depths of your subconscious. And when you acknowledge them and give them space in your imagination, you begin the process of bringing them into being. Imagination is often dismissed as just daydreaming, as though it is an ungrounded escape from reality. However, in the truth of Neville Goddard's teachings, imagination is the medium through which divine intelligence communicates with you. It is where the universe speaks its most profound truths, and it is in this space that you are invited to partner with creation. By imagining something as real, you are not simply envisioning a possible future, you are stepping into the state of being that aligns you with that future now. The mind cannot distinguish between what is imagined vividly and what is physically real. This is why we can experience excitement, fear, or joy from something imagined as though it were happening in the present moment. The subconscious mind accepts whatever is vividly imagined as reality and begins to move toward its fulfillment. This is the power of imagination, to make what does not yet exist feel as though it already does. In this way, you are actively shaping your future by feeling it in the present. The more you imagine and feel your desires as already realized, the more likely the universe will reflect these desires in the form of opportunities, events, and manifestations in your life. Trusting divine timing means knowing that the universe will bring what you have imagined into physical form at the perfect moment. It's not about forcing things to happen, it's about allowing them to unfold in the most harmonious and aligned way. Often, we rush and become frustrated when our desires don't manifest immediately. We doubt our own power, and we begin to question the reality of what we've imagined. But the truth is that divine timing operates on its own schedule, one that is always aligned with your highest good, even if it doesn't match your expectations or timeline. This is where the real magic of imagination comes in, the process of letting go. It is not enough to simply imagine something and then wait anxiously for it to materialize. The power of imagination lies in the act of feeling your desire as already accomplished and then releasing attachment to the outcome. When you trust divine timing, you trust that the universe is working in the background, orchestrating everything to come together for your benefit. The imagined reality you've created already exists in the mind of the universe, and it is only a matter of time before it is mirrored in the physical world. Sometimes, divine timing requires patience. There are often unseen forces at play that need to align before your desires can come to fruition. The people, places, and circumstances that are necessary for your manifestation to take shape may still be in motion. Trusting divine timing is about recognizing that all the pieces of your puzzle are being carefully placed, and that the timing will be perfect, even if it doesn't seem like it at first. It's also important to remember that imagination works best when it is infused with belief. Imagine your desires with the same certainty you have when you see something physical in front of you. The stronger the belief, the more the universe responds. If you have doubts or uncertainties, you send mixed signals to your subconscious, which then creates conflicting results. But when your imagination is paired with deep trust and belief in divine timing, you unlock the power to manifest your desires effortlessly. When you allow yourself to truly believe in the reality of your imagination, you stop measuring the world by what you see around you, and you begin to measure it by the inner world of possibilities you have cultivated. You understand that the world of form is simply a reflection of what is happening within your mind and imagination. What you consistently feel and imagine is what will unfold in the world around you. In conclusion, trusting divine timing begins with understanding the immense power of imagination. It is the tool through which you can bring your desires into existence and the key to unlocking your future. By consciously choosing to imagine your desires as real and feeling them as though they are already part of your experience, you align yourself with the perfect timing of the universe. Remember, imagination is not just daydreaming, it is the beginning of all manifestation. And when you trust in its power, you are allowing divine timing to work in your favor. Many people find themselves caught in the trap of believing that when their desires do not manifest quickly, it means they will never come to fruition. The sense of waiting, of feeling as if time is dragging on, can often feel like a personal failure or a sign that something is wrong. However, the idea that delay is denial is one of the most misleading concepts we can embrace. In truth, delay is not a sign that your dreams are out of reach, but rather an essential part of the process of creation. The universe operates by divine laws, and these laws do not move based on our impatience or frustration. Just because you do not see immediate results does not mean that your desire is being denied. The external world is a reflection of your inner state of being, and often there are internal alignments that need to take place before your desires can materialize in the physical world. Delay, in many cases, is a necessary part of this process. It is an indication that the universe is orchestrating things on a much larger scale than you may be aware of at the moment. It is working in the background, aligning circumstances, people, and situations to bring your desires into reality at the perfect time. There are moments in life when we face what seems like an extended period of waiting. This waiting period can be filled with uncertainty, doubt, and fear. We might wonder why others seem to be getting ahead while we are still stuck in the same position. We start to question whether we deserve what we are asking for, or whether there is something wrong with us. But this mindset only keeps us in a state of resistance. When we are constantly focused on the delay, we feed the very energy of lack and limitation. The truth is that delay is an essential step in the manifestation process, and by shifting our perception, we can allow it to work in our favor. One important thing to remember is that everything is happening according to a divine plan. The universe is not random, and every event, every person that enters our lives is there for a specific reason. Your desires are part of this plan, and while they may not be manifesting in the exact moment you expect, they are coming in divine order. If you were to receive your desires too soon, you might not be ready to handle them. You might still need to grow in certain areas, or there may be other opportunities or connections that need to align before the timing is perfect. The delay serves as an opportunity for preparation. In some cases, the delay is not even about you. It could be that the universe is working with other people or circumstances that need to align with your own desires. Perhaps there are others involved in your manifestation that need time to make decisions or shift in their own way. This is a common scenario in relationships or business ventures, where the desires of two or more parties are interlinked. While you may feel like you are in a waiting pattern, the reality is that everything is coming together perfectly, even if you cannot yet see it. The key to navigating periods of delay is to trust that the universe has a plan and that your desires are being fulfilled in the perfect timing. Trusting divine timing means acknowledging that the universe has a broader perspective of your life than you do. It knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Instead of becoming frustrated with the waiting process, choose to embrace it as an opportunity for growth and self-reflection. Trust that the delay is not a sign of denial, but rather a sign that things are being perfectly set in motion for you. When you shift your mindset and understand that delay is not denial, you open yourself up to receiving your desires in a more abundant and effortless way. You let go of the tension and resistance that often accompanies impatience. Instead of wondering why it is taking so long, you begin to trust that everything is unfolding at the right pace. The universe is not punishing you for not being ready. It is helping you become the person who is ready to receive what is coming to you. Trust that the process is unfolding exactly as it should, and that every moment of waiting is another step closer to the manifestation of your dreams. Additionally, embracing the idea that delay is not denial invites you to reflect on your growth during the waiting period. What are you learning about yourself? What new strengths or qualities are you developing as you trust the process? Delays often provide us with the time we need to evolve and to prepare ourselves for the next phase of our journey. They provide the space for introspection, for deepening our understanding of our desires, and for fine-tuning our alignment with the things we want to manifest. Moreover, delaying your desires is sometimes a necessary adjustment for the universe to ensure that what you are asking for is truly in alignment with your highest good. Perhaps there are lessons, challenges, or healing that you still need to undergo before the full realization of your dreams can come into your life. Delays give you time to process and integrate these experiences, helping you approach your desires from a place of inner peace and alignment. In conclusion, understanding that delay is not denial allows you to release the fear and frustration that often accompany waiting. Trust the process and know that the universe is not withholding from you, but rather carefully and lovingly aligning everything in your life for the perfect manifestation of your desires. The timing is always divine, and while you may not understand it now, the results will always exceed your expectations when you trust in the process and allow the universe to work its magic in its own perfect timing. Faith is a powerful concept, but often misunderstood. Many people view faith as something akin to hope, a wish or desire that something will happen, an uncertain belief in a future outcome that is out of their control. In this context, faith is seen as a form of waiting and hoping, praying for the best, and trusting that things will work out somehow. However, this perspective doesn't fully capture the transformative power of true faith. True faith, as Neville Goddard teaches, is not simply hope, it is awareness. It is a deep, unwavering conviction in the reality of what has been imagined, felt, and known to be true in the unseen. Faith is not an external condition that you wish for. It is not something that depends on evidence or external circumstances. Faith is something far more profound. It is a state of awareness, an understanding that what you desire is already a part of your being. The truth is, you already possess everything you need to bring about your desires. The only thing required is the awareness of that fact, the recognition that all the possibilities you wish to manifest are already within you, waiting to emerge. When you live in the state of awareness, you recognize that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the building blocks of your reality. You become conscious that you are not at the mercy of external events, but rather the creator of your own circumstances. This is the essence of faith in Neville Goddard's teachings. It is the ability to accept and live from the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled. It is knowing without a shadow of doubt that the things you wish for are not only possible, but are already a part of your life, existing in the unseen realms of imagination and consciousness. Unlike hope, which is often rooted in uncertainty, faith as awareness comes from a place of certainty and inner knowing. Hope is a form of wishing that something will happen, but faith goes beyond wishing. It is the certainty that what you desire already exists in the inner world, and your job is to become aware of it, to bring it into conscious experience. Faith, in this sense, is not about wishing for a positive outcome or hoping for change. It is the recognition that the change you seek is already part of your inner world, and all you must do is accept it, embody it, and live from it. Faith as awareness is an active process. It requires you to not just believe in the possibility of your desires, but to fully step into the experience of having them already. This means you must align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you are creating. It's about feeling the truth of your desires in every moment, not just as a distant hope, but as a present reality. For example, if you desire a career shift, it's not enough to simply hope for the new job. Faith in the process means that you see yourself already in that new role, living and working as if it has already happened. You become aware of the details, the feelings of accomplishment, the pride in your work, the joy of living your dream. This is not pretending, this is living from the state of the wish fulfilled. When you approach life with this kind of faith, you stop being a passive observer of your circumstances and start becoming an active participant in your creation. You no longer wait for the world to change around you. You change the way you engage with the world. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and you find solutions where others see problems. Faith is not passive. It is alive and vibrant. It's a force that propels you forward, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This is where the real power of awareness comes in. By fully embracing the state of the wish fulfilled, you dissolve the gap between your current reality and your desired reality. You stop waiting for external signs that it is happening, and instead you feel the presence of your desires as if they are already here. This shift in awareness is what brings them into manifestation. You begin to act in ways that align with your desires even before you see them physically manifest. This is the difference between waiting in hope and living in faith. Faith is an active, living force that drives you to live your desires now, while hope is a passive wish for something that may or may not come. Moreover, faith as awareness means that you are not attached to the timing of the manifestation. Often people lose faith because they do not see immediate results. However, when you understand that faith is awareness, you realize that the manifestation is inevitable. It does not depend on the time it takes to show up in physical form. Just as the seed does not immediately sprout into a tree, your desires are working behind the scenes, growing and evolving until they are ready to emerge. The key is not to lose faith when you don't see immediate results, but to remain aware of the reality you've already created in your mind and heart. When you embrace faith as awareness, you also embrace the idea that your desires are already part of you. This shifts your focus away from what is lacking in your life and onto what is already available to you in the realm of possibility. You stop seeking outside yourself for validation because you know that everything you need is within you, waiting to be recognized and brought into form. Your job is to stay in that awareness, to trust that it is already yours, and to live from that state of knowing. In conclusion, true faith is not a wishful hope, but a deep awareness of the unseen reality that already exists within you. It is the recognition that what you desire is not distant or out of reach, but is already part of your consciousness. Faith as awareness means fully stepping into the experience of your desire as if it has already happened. It is knowing with absolute certainty that your desires are real, and your job is simply to live from that truth, regardless of what your outer circumstances may appear to be. With this awareness, you step into your power as a creator, and you become the living embodiment of your dreams. One of the most crucial aspects of manifesting your desires and trusting in divine timing is the power of persistence. In a world where instant gratification is often celebrated, persistence is a rare and underestimated quality. Yet it is perhaps one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Persistence is not simply about continuing to try, it is about maintaining a deep, unwavering commitment to your dreams, regardless of the challenges or obstacles you may face along the way. It's about understanding that the journey to manifest your desires is not a straight line, but rather a winding path that requires resilience, faith, and patience. Persistence is the antidote to the fleeting nature of hope. It is not about wishing for things to change, but about staying aligned with your goals and values in the face of uncertainty and difficulty. While hope may lead you to believe that things could work out, persistence is the force that makes them work out. It is the quiet determination to continue moving forward, even when results seem far off or when progress feels slow. This unwavering drive allows you to stay focused on your goal, not just for the short term, but for the long haul. The process of manifesting anything into reality requires persistence because things don't always unfold in the exact way we expect or desire them to. We often face unexpected detours, challenges, or setbacks. In these moments, it's easy to lose sight of the end goal, to become disheartened by temporary failures or delays. But persistence teaches us that these setbacks are not failures, they are simply part of the process. In fact, some of the most valuable lessons come from the very obstacles we encounter along the way. They are shaping us, strengthening us, and preparing us for the moment when our desires do manifest. True persistence involves understanding that every step, even the difficult ones, brings us closer to what we are meant to experience. When we persist, we align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. It is easy to become frustrated or impatient when things aren't happening on our timeline. However, when we understand that everything is unfolding according to divine timing, we can surrender to the flow and trust that every moment is part of a larger plan. Persistence does not mean forcing things to happen before their time. It means staying focused and committed, trusting that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring our desires into reality. Persistence is also about a shift in mindset. It's about viewing challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. Every challenge presents an opportunity to develop new skills, strengthen our resolve, and learn more about ourselves. The more persistent we are, the more we begin to see setbacks as an integral part of the manifestation process. When we approach life with this mindset, we develop resilience, and this resilience becomes an essential component of our persistence. It's not just about keeping going, it's about going forward with faith, trust, and the belief that our dreams are valid, no matter how long it takes for them to come into fruition. One of the most powerful aspects of persistence is that it creates momentum. At times, it may seem like we are not getting anywhere, like we are stuck or spinning our wheels. But even small steps, when consistently taken over time, lead to significant progress. Persistence builds this momentum, even when we can't see it. Every action we take, no matter how small, is a step toward our goal. And as we persist, we begin to build confidence in ourselves and in the process. The universe responds to our persistence by aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities to meet us halfway. It's as if the universe is waiting for us to show our commitment before it fully opens the doors of possibility. Sometimes it's easy to feel that we are alone in our persistence. There might be times when it feels like no one else understands the journey we are on or the struggles we are facing. We might even begin to doubt our ability to continue, questioning whether it's worth the effort. However, this is when persistence is most critical. It's in these moments of doubt that persistence reveals its true power. When we continue, even when it feels like the world is against us, we prove to ourselves that we are worthy of what we desire. We demonstrate our belief in our dreams, regardless of the external circumstances. And in doing so, we send a powerful signal to the universe that we are ready for what is to come. It's important to remember that persistence does not mean doing the same thing over and over again without consideration. True persistence is guided by wisdom and discernment. It's about continuing on the path, but also being open to change, to new approaches, and to learning from the experiences along the way. Persistence is not blind, but intelligent. It requires self-reflection, adaptability, and a willingness to evolve as needed. This flexibility allows us to stay true to our vision while also being open to the unfolding of the process. Furthermore, persistence brings clarity. As you persist in your journey, you refine your desires and your understanding of what you truly want. The longer you stay the course, the clearer your vision becomes. You start to see the steps that were previously unclear, and the path ahead seems more defined. This clarity reinforces your commitment and helps you stay motivated even when faced with obstacles. Persistence, therefore, becomes not just about achieving a goal, but about deepening your connection to your purpose and aligning with your true self. In conclusion, the power of persistence is not in never giving up, but in staying committed to your vision with faith and resilience, even when the external world seems uncooperative. It is about understanding that setbacks are not signs of failure, but stepping stones towards success. Persistence builds momentum, strengthens our resolve, and aligns us with the natural flow of the universe. By embracing persistence, we open ourselves up to the possibility of great achievements, trusting that divine timing will bring everything into place at the perfect moment. As we continue our journey, we are not just chasing after our desires, we are becoming the person who is worthy of them. Through persistence, we learn, grow, and ultimately manifest our dreams in ways we never thought possible. When we set out to manifest our desires and align with divine timing, we must come to terms with a simple yet profound truth. There are unseen forces at play in the universe that shape our lives in ways we cannot always immediately comprehend. These forces are not random or chaotic. They are part of a larger, intricate design, working behind the scenes to bring us into alignment with our highest good. The challenge is to trust in these unseen forces, to recognize that just because we cannot see them in the physical realm does not mean they are not active or that they are not working for us. In the modern world, we are conditioned to believe that what we see is all that exists, that if something is not visible, it is not real. This materialistic mindset can be limiting, especially when it comes to our desires and manifestations. We are often so focused on the physical, tangible aspects of our goals that we fail to acknowledge the intangible forces that shape our reality. Yet it is in these unseen realms where the most powerful changes take place. Trusting in the unseen forces means acknowledging that we are not alone in our journey, and that the universe is always at work, even when we cannot see it. This requires a leap of faith. It is easy to trust when we can see the outcome, when the path is clear and the results are immediate. But true trust lies in believing that the universe is working on our behalf, even when it feels like nothing is happening, even when we cannot see the progress we expect. The unseen forces are like the roots of a tree. They are underground, hidden from view, but they are nourishing and stabilizing the tree, allowing it to grow strong and tall. Similarly, the unseen forces are providing the foundation for our desires to manifest, even when we cannot yet see them. This trust is not a blind faith. It is a conscious decision to believe in the process of life, even when circumstances seem to contradict our desires. There are moments when we may feel frustrated or discouraged, wondering why our manifestations aren't showing up as quickly as we hoped, or why things don't seem to be falling into place. These moments are testing our faith. This is where trust in the unseen forces becomes crucial. It is in these moments that we must remember that everything is unfolding according to divine timing, and that the forces at work are orchestrating events in ways that we may not yet understand. One of the most powerful aspects of trusting in the unseen forces is understanding that timing is key. The universe does not work on our schedule, it works on its own. There may be things happening in the background that we are unaware of, shifts in circumstances, connections being made, and opportunities being aligned, all of which are necessary for the successful manifestation of our desires. Just because we cannot see these changes doesn't mean they aren't happening. In fact, the more we trust in the unseen forces, the more we open ourselves up to receiving the blessings and opportunities that are being prepared for us behind the scenes. This trust is also about surrender. Surrendering does not mean giving up on your desires or abandoning your goals. It means releasing the need to control every aspect of the process and allowing the universe to work its magic. The more we try to control every outcome, the more we limit ourselves. By trusting in the unseen forces, we acknowledge that there is a larger intelligence at work, and that it is guiding us toward the fulfillment of our dreams in ways that are often beyond our understanding. Surrendering is an act of empowerment, not weakness. It is a way of acknowledging that there are forces far greater than ourselves that are working in our favor, and by trusting them, we allow the universe to align everything perfectly for us. In many cases, the unseen forces are working to prepare us for the manifestations we seek. Sometimes we are not ready for the things we desire, even though we may think we are. The universe knows this, and so it aligns circumstances to help us grow, to help us develop the strength, wisdom, and character needed to fully embrace our desires. Trusting in the unseen forces means having faith that everything is unfolding in the way it should, even if we cannot immediately understand why things are happening the way they are. Another critical aspect of trusting in the unseen forces is understanding that these forces are not bound by linear time. We often think that if something hasn't happened yet, it won't happen at all. We get discouraged when our desires seem distant or delayed, and we begin to question whether the universe is truly listening to us. However, the reality is that time is not a limitation for the unseen forces. The universe is constantly moving and shifting things into place, even if we cannot see the exact moment when our desires will manifest. This is why we must trust the process and remain faithful, knowing that divine timing is always at work. Trusting the unseen forces also requires us to maintain a sense of inner peace and patience. When we are anxious or desperate for a certain outcome, we often block the very forces we are hoping will help us. The energy of desperation sends a message to the universe that we don't believe in the abundance available to us. When we trust in the unseen forces, we adopt an energy of calm assurance, knowing that everything will unfold exactly as it is meant to. This peace of mind allows us to remain open to receiving, even when things are not yet physically visible. Finally, trusting in the unseen forces involves an inner knowing that the universe is not only working for us, but is also deeply connected to us. We are not separate from the forces at play in the universe, we are part of them. We are, in essence, an integral part of the divine flow. When we trust in the unseen, we tap into the vast, infinite potential of the universe itself. We begin to see ourselves not as isolated beings struggling for success, but as co-creators in a vast, interconnected network of energy, creativity, and love. In conclusion, trusting in the unseen forces is essential to fully embracing divine timing. It is about believing that there is a larger plan at work and surrendering our need to control the process. The unseen forces are constantly at work, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities for our highest good. By trusting these forces, we can stay focused on our desires, remain patient, and maintain faith in the process, knowing that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Trusting in the unseen is an act of surrender, faith, and empowerment, and it is the key to allowing our desires to manifest in their perfect form. In conclusion, embracing the divine timing of your life is not merely about waiting for things to happen, but about aligning yourself with the unseen forces at work, trusting in the process, and remaining persistent in the pursuit of your dreams. When you trust in the divine timing, you open yourself to the flow of the universe and recognize that every step, every setback, and every challenge is preparing you for the future you desire. The key is to have faith in the unseen, to persist through the challenges, and to surrender control to the wisdom of the universe. By embracing this trust, you step into your power, knowing that your time has come and that everything you have been working toward is already in motion. Remember, timing is a divine orchestration, and while you may not always understand it, you are always in the right place, at the right time, doing the right thing. Patience, persistence, and trust are the pillars that will guide you toward your desires. Continue to nurture your belief, knowing that divine timing is always working for you, shaping your path and bringing your dreams into reality in perfect harmony with the universe's greater plan. Your time has come, and by trusting in this timing, you step into the most powerful version of yourself, ready to receive all that is meant for you. Keep walking forward with faith, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should.